Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Christy in my closet in Missouri. Or
And this-
St. Louis.
And this has been my closet in North Carolina. Hey.
Why do I have a problem with the beginning of our
I don't
show
know.
sometimes? I mean,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
like we haven't
It's my
had
favorite.
40 other episodes that we do it with.
41. This is 41.
Right. Yeah, I know. 41. Holy
Yes.
cow.
Hey,
Who'd have
friends.
thunk? Who would have imagined being here at this point? And also ending our first season, technically.
Yes. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to release this episode, which is a great crime story that Christy is about to tell you. And then we're going to take a break because the holidays. And when we come back, just a short break in which we'll probably drop in your feed. Stay tuned. But we're coming back in 2021 with season 2 of Crimes and Closets.
Whoa. Season 2. It's like
we're dosing it up.
Mind-boggling to me that we would even get to a season 2. I don't know.
I don't know what happened with this year, but this was a real gem. I can tell you that.
It was.
It's been a great ride.
Yes.
And we appreciate you guys coming along with us.
Yep. And keep coming. And keep, recommending us. Because we find we get little notes from people every now and then that we just found you and we're just so excited and happy and we love it and blah, blah, blah. And it makes us happy.
I know. And the bingers, that's my favorite, is when we get the messages from people who are like, I binged everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And 41 episodes is no small binge.
No, it's no small binge. And I remember being that binger back in the day when I first started true crime and thinking, oh, I'm just going to go through this all. And I did, to hear somebody say that about us.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
So the fact that you've been with us through bad audio and whatever else that we've done this year is amazing. And we thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, I've got somewhat of a doozy for you. Do you want to just jump into it, or you got anything outside your closet that you want to mention?
I have nothing, except for that it's, the holidays, and are you feeling jolly?
Okay, so hold on. Yes, I'm feeling slightly jolly, except the fact that these stinking elves, I'm close to 10 years in, and I just can't anymore. So this year I bought an Etsy kit. And it's very disappointing. Sorry.
It really is disappointing for all her Instagram followers.
Yeah. Sorry for my followers, and sorry for the lady that I bought it from that I'm now bashing you. It's fine. It is fine. It is just, it's basic. And I think Xavier is thinking, what is our elves taking the year off?
2020, dude.
He said something the other day and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that they gave you their best stuff the last 10 years and they just are tired.
Your elves are elderly now. They've got to be rounding 25 at this point.
Oh man. So anyway, yeah. So I'm jolly except for them. I like my house being decorated.
House is pretty, yes. I just was going to say, I got a picture of your house and it looks very Christmassy and I love it.
Yeah, we were excited about those. We have those uplighting things, and all we did was buy gels and cut out a circle and stick it on top of the light. And I was like, I didn't know it was that easy to do.
Oh, wow. I thought you changed the light bulbs.
No, because that's what I thought needed to be done. And I'm like, there's no way that's going to happen. And nope. Emery was like, no, I think we just have to buy these and cut a little circle out. And totally worked. Took 10 minutes.
So baller.
Awesome. Yeah, baller.
Anyway, Christmas. You're cheating on everything. You're cheating on elves. You're cheating on lights. It's fine.
Yes.
Here I'm out on a ladder, but go on.
No. So anyway.
And I haven't been able to steal any of Christy's ideas because I typically am always one day behind her on the elf, and she'll do something and I'm like, fabulous. I'm screenshotting that. And then I do it, but no, So my elves have been like sticking straws in oranges and pretending to drink them and playing PlayStation with the controllers. And we're tired. We're just all tired in 2020. So make your Christmas your own.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't judge me. I might be back next year with better ideas.
Good. That makes me happy because I still have a 5-year-old and he's got a couple years to go. So I'm going to need you to up your game.
Well, I'm really secretly hoping that the 10-year-old is going to get off this train and help me next year and give me some good ideas for the 6-year-old. So we'll see.
I'm not sure that 10-year-old's going to bring you much, but
yeah.
He's too smart for elves.
Well, it's true. But he's creative, so we'll see.
That's true. Yes.
Anyway. So
let's do a palate cleanse.
Okay.
Real quick of not Christmas stuff and not holiday things and talk about mayhem and murder.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? It's like a reverse palate cleanse.
It's a reverse palate cleanse. However, I have a Christmas massacre for you. So I'm not really palate cleansing.
As long as nobody killed an elf, I'm here for it. It's too much explaining to do.
But you might be pissed at who did kill people. So
bring it.
Anyway, it's actually, I kind of felt like when I was doing this that this was almost too horrible to report on. Like kind of a lot of our stories. And being close to the holidays, it seemed even worse. But it is why we're all here, right? So, I mean, you wouldn't be listening if you didn't want to hear it. So, I'm going to go with it. But just be warned, it is a Christmas crime, and no matter how I spin it, it's going to seem worse than many other stories, in my opinion, just because of a couple small details.
Oh, bless. Okay.
So, let's go back to, not too far back this time, but January 2006. I guess that is kind of far, but not like 1945. So, anyway, Bruce Pardo and Sylvia Ortega are in a decent place in their lives. They're getting ready to get married. They're in their older years. So Bruce is probably around 43 and Sylvia is like 41. So they're not, young people, but they are newly engaged or getting married soon, and they have jobs with incomes that equal probably around 150,000 between the two of them. Sylvia, she works for a flower breeding company, and she makes around 31,000. And Bruce is an electrical engineer working at ITT Electrical Systems, which I don't know if anybody knows what that is. I don't, but it's out in California, and it's making around $122,000 a year. And they have a house in Montrose. I think that's how you say that. It's either Montrose or Montrose. I don't know. I'm sorry I did not look up how to say that. But it's just outside LA in California.
Okay.
And they have a dog named Saki.
Okay. That's cute. I bet he had little white socks.
Well, no, it's like Saki. So to me, it was like Saki.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So our people then. Go on.
Yeah.
Got it.
So Sylvia, she has 3 children two from a previous marriage and 1 just from a previous relationship. And the youngest is 5. Bruce volunteers at a local church as an usher at times, and the two are getting married on January 29th, 2006. Neighbors are known to say that they often see the family walking the dog in the neighborhood and just seem like a happy little family and very friendly. Unfortunately, the relationship goes downhill fairly quickly. According to some reports, Bruce has refused to open a joint account with Sylvia and is insisting that Sylvia care for her 3 children with her own finances. So he's basically like, I don't need to care for these kids because they're not mine. You should. And over the course of their time together, which was just under 2 years, they had built up a little nest egg of about $88,000. And Sylvia claims that Bruce dwindles it down to about $17,000 by transferring funds into private accounts.
Oh.
But I don't really know if that's true.
That's dirty.
Yes. So by December of 2007, again, just under 2 years from when they got married, Sylvia was sleeping in another bedroom in the house and spending most weekends away from the house at her parents' house with the kids. And a couple months after that, she tells him that she wants a divorce and officially files for that divorce on March 24th of 2008. And in her filing, she asked for about $3,100 in monthly spousal support from Bruce. So fast forward just a couple months to July of 2008, Bruce gets let go of his job. So she had filed for this, but clearly, it takes a while to get through the system and whatnot. But so he gets fired from his job in July and quickly starts getting into debt. And he has almost a $3,000 mortgage, $31,000 in credit card debt. And he's not receiving a severance package from his employer and has no other income. So he just loses his job and that's it.
Do we know why he got fired?
I only saw this in maybe one article, but something about falsifying time records, of working. So
got it.
He falsified something. So I'm pretty sure he was fired, and that's why there was no severance package.
Absolutely.
So he basically turns around this spousal support and is asking for the court for him to receive spousal support from
he's
Sylvia.
Unemployed, right?
Now he's unemployed. So, and he's like, I'm continuously looking for a job, and so I just need some money to survive on. And the court ends up deciding in favor of Sylvia and awards her a monthly payment of $1,785 and back payments of about $300 or $3,500, give or take. Because basically he had a really good paying job, I think they're figuring, and he probably has some money to give her. So this divorce is finalized on December 18th, 2008, where the court actually waives all of those back payments and the monthly spousal support for Sylvia, but orders Bruce to pay her a lump sum of $10,000. He needs to give back the wedding ring, which is pretty valuable to Sylvia, and she gets custody of the dog Saki. But
gosh, okay.
I know. He was awarded the house, but it was, I believe, his house before their marriage. She moved in with him. So within
the dog, man, that's a win.
I know, she got the dog. So within a few months, Bruce has basically lost his wife, his job, and his dog, and all just days before Christmas. So you can imagine that would be hard for anybody. And for some, it could probably trigger some heinous acts. Guess we'll just have to wait until after the break to find out if that's what happened.
Dun, dun, dun. Have a holly jolly Christmas.
So, to recap, Bruce and Sylvia were married just over 2 years and have divorced. Seemed to have a pretty contentious divorce, especially over finances.
And the dog.
And the dog. Yes, exactly. Lost the dog. I feel like that's what would throw me over the edge.
Anybody that is put this in their divorce agreement,
right?
It matters.
Yeah, exactly. So true. So, let's see. 6 days after the divorce was final, Bruce had been trying to come up with the money to pay Sylvia. And on December 24th, 2008, which clearly is
Christmas Eve,
he pulls out of his driveway around 9 p.m. or so, just around. And a neighbor stopped to say hello to him and ask where he was off to. And he said he was, off to a Christmas party. And at approximately 11:30 p.m., Bruce pulled up to his ex-in-law's house in Covina, California, which was about 30 miles away from his home.
So her parents'
house. And at this time, the family was having a Christmas party with 25 people in attendance at that time. The kids were playing video games or watching TV, and the adults were just having a fun time chatting in the living room. Bruce knocked on the door, dressed as Santa Claus, with a big present in his hand.
I just got chills. My body got them.
That might be the tiny detail that throws people over the edge with this story.
I'm holding on to my pants.
You hold on to
my Christmas pants.
Christmas leggings. 8-year-old Katrina, which is Sylvia's sister Letitia's daughter, so basically Sylvia's niece, answers the door and is excited to see Santa Claus. Because what 8-year-old would not be excited on Christmas Eve to see Santa knock at your door?
That's right. Best life.
Mm-hmm. But as soon as she opened the door, Bruce pulls out a semi-automatic handgun and shoots her in the face.
What?
Side note, though, Katrina did survive this because, according to some reports, last second she turned her face, and so that is what they think saved her life, and the bullet just kind of went through her jaw, but she was still shot in the face. After this, he just started shooting indiscriminately throughout the house. And he then grabbed a homemade flamethrower that he had brought with him and started spraying accelerant throughout the home, which was a mixture of carbon dioxide or oxygen and high-octane racing fuel. And he was spraying this, or as he was spraying this, it accidentally ignites. So they think either a pilot light had been started or there was a candle or whatever, but it's just so high-octane that whatever happened, lights this before he has a chance to light it himself.
They probably had a fire in the fireplace because it's freaking Christmas Eve, Santa.
That's true. And the house just goes up in flames. Oh. And there were just people, they were hiding under tables because as soon as he starts shooting, people just start running. Kids start running out the door, and they're all fleeing from the house. Some people were jumping out of the windows to get out of the house. One of which was Katrina, the 8-year-old girl. Her and her mother, Letitia, went to a neighbor's house to call 911.
And she's shot in the face?
And she's shot in the face. And
by Santa.
By Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. Like, come on. This is ridiculous. Letitia had recognized the shooter, though, even though there was a disguise, as her ex-brother-in-law, Bruce. And so when she called 911, she told them who it was. And it was believed that Bruce intended to continue shooting because he had 2 other semi-automatic handguns in his possession, but the unexpected ignition of the fuel had him flee shortly after that happened because the house went up. The fire was so intense that it took 80 firefighters an hour and a half to put it out, and the second floor of the house collapsed into the first floor. I mean, the house was destroyed. Out of the 25 people that were there, 16 managed to escape, including Letitia and Katrina, and another teen who had been shot in the back, but she survived too. There were 8 bodies that were found within a day or so, but one other person was missing. And after a couple days, they found the final body. All of the bodies had been so badly burned that they couldn't be identified. And they had to wait for dental records to identify everyone. I mean, they kind of had an idea of who these people were because everybody knew who was at the party and like who was not there. But in order to legally identify them, they had to wait for dental records. And there were 9 total victims. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list. Sylvia Pardo, which was his ex-wife. Alicia Ortega, which is Sylvia's mother. Joseph Ortega, which is her father. Charles Ortega, which is Sylvia's brother, and Cheryl Lynn, which is Charles's wife, James Ortega, Sylvia's brother, Teresa Ortega, which is James's wife, Alicia Ortega, Sylvia's sister, and the final body that was found days after was 17-year-old Michael Ortega, which I believe was Alicia's son. He was apparently upstairs in his room and had just sent a friend an email at 11:25. He was not shot, but he died in the fire because the second floor collapsed to the first floor. So her, basically, I mean, except for the one sister, Letitia, and her niece, I mean, the entire family is just wiped out. Brothers, sisters, mom, dad. Awful. Christmas Eve by Santa.
Santa Bruce.
Santa Bruce. In the meantime, Bruce has fled the area and has gone to his brother's house in Sylmar, which is about 40 miles from there. Don't really know if that was planned or not because he actually had to drive past his own house to get or where he lived to get there. But I'm sure, I mean, it went awry either way. Like his plan, they don't think went as planned. So he was probably just, flying by the seat of his pants at this point. His brother wasn't home though because he was at another Christmas party that evening. So Bruce had to break into his brother's home.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Santa's breaking into the house? No.
Well, this time he's not because he had taken the Santa suit off and left it in the car with wires wrapped in it so that when it was moved, a pipe bomb would go off.
Obviously.
Right, yeah, because he didn't want any evidence in this car.
What? Discard it on the 40-mile drive, Bruce.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a rental car, by the way. He had rented a car. It wasn't even his car. Around 3:30 in the morning, Bruce's brother comes home from the Christmas party he was attending and found Bruce shot to death inside his home. Bruce had committed suicide using a handgun found at the scene.
What is this story?
He had stuck the handgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger, and there was an exit wound at the top of his head. He was found with $17,000 taped to his leg.
What?
And a plane ticket that was believed at the time to be going to Canada. But years later, literally years later, somehow they determined that the plane ticket was not, it was going to Illinois and that he had made plans to visit a friend who lived in Iowa. But they're not really sure if that was like a distraction. Well, I mean, I think that was a distraction. I think he had several different things that were supposed to like steer people in different directions because I think his plan was to escape, not to kill himself. But too many things went wrong along the way. He had third-degree burns to parts of his arms and legs, and it is stated that there were even parts of the Santa suit stuck to his skin because it had melted to him in the fire at the house. So
why did he have money taped to his leg?
Well, because
he's going to go through the airport with that?
I guess. Or wherever he was escaping to, like his plan was to escape. It wasn't to shoot himself. So he was going to leave with that money. He had drained the account. And so I think he really, like, he may have siphoned some money off into other accounts, but then when he lost his job, he probably needed to use those to pay off some debt. And so what he really did have was that $17,000 that was like left in that account.
Wow.
One account that
he was like, I'm just going to stick this right here.
He taped it to his leg because he thought that that's where he needed to put it. I don't know. The guy's dead. Can't ask him.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Bruce's brother called the police, and when they did a search, and he explained that he just found his brother, Bruce Pardo, in his house. And so when they did the search on him, they realized that he was wanted by the Covina police for the shooting and the fire. So when they arrive at the scene, they find the rental car outside with the Santa suit in it, and they're trying to determine if it's safe to take the items out of that car. And when they were trying to disarm it, because they did see the wires, the car went up in flames. So the car is just completely destroyed. No one was hurt in that, by the way. But they did find 300 rounds of ammunition and a pipe bomb in that car, which I'm surprised when it went up that that ammunition didn't just like...
Yeah, start firing off or something.
Right. Yeah. And when they searched his home, they found another handgun and 4 shotguns in his home. Like, what? Why do you need that many? I mean, he took what he could in the Santa suit. Anyway. Later in the investigation, they found a second rental car that he had rented on the street of Sylvia's lawyer. And inside that car was a computer, clothes, food, water, and maps of the U.S. and Mexico. So then it's thought, their thought was that he really planned to go and kill the lawyer at some point. I don't know why they're jumping to that, but I guess because it was outside his house. And then flee to Mexico. So I think these plane tickets were props and like, he was just planning on driving to Mexico, but didn't get that far. His plans changed when he was badly burned in the fire and thought that he couldn't make it without going to a hospital to, get bandaged up. So he just decided
that makes sense.
To end his life is my assumption.
You'd think you'd untape the money, though.
Before you shot yourself?
Yeah.
Like,
I
what would
mean,
make you do that, though?
I'm not really sure. I think I would put it in the car with the pipe bomb.
Oh, just get rid of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm half wondering actually if part of the Santa suit is like stuck to his body, if that tape was also stuck to like,
Oh
so I mean,
my.
I didn't say that, but
You deserve it, Bruce.
yeah, no kidding. So a further investigation revealed a few other things. One was that it's thought that he also intended to kill his mother because she was supposed to be at that party, but canceled last minute because she didn't feel well. And it was kind of known that his mother had sympathy for Sylvia in the divorce and that she was still in touch with her. Clearly, she was supposed to go to her family's party, and Bruce wasn't
Right.
too happy about that. So it also seems that Bruce had been planning this for several months. He had bought all of the guns and ammunition back in July when he lost his job. And he had also ordered the Santa suit in September and ordered it extra big with the thought being that he was intending to hide all of those weapons in
Mm-hmm.
his suit. And one random thing, because so you got to read an autopsy report, your last
Mm-hmm.
case.
Yeah.
Randomly, this one was online, full
Mhm.
25-page autopsy report.
Nice.
And so I got to read that one. And it was pretty, I mean, unremarkable for, I guess, autopsy reports from what I was expecting. I mean, he shot himself in the head and had some burns and a few bruises that were reported, which you would expect that. But on one page, it said that there was cocaine in his system, which was not mentioned in any of the articles that I read at all, which I thought was a little bit weird because wouldn't you think that if he was on drugs at the time, it would just be something that somebody would mention, but I don't know. And so I had been trying to figure out what the amount was in his system, but I couldn't really find, like it tells me what the blood level was for the cocaine and it says what the urine level was. But I cannot for the life of me understand any article on how to
Mm-hmm.
like determine what those mean, except that what was in his blood was a therapeutic level.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Well, from what I can gather, it just means the effectiveness. Like
Mm.
it wasn't a lethal because the next level up was lethal. So it wasn't a lethal dose. So therapeutic, does that mean like, oh, it was enough to affect him
Mm-hmm.
and like, feel some sort of effect from it? But anyway, you would just think that if someone's on something like cocaine, that could have also been like another reason that they did something so
Mm-hmm.
rash, like you're on
Mm-hmm.
cocaine. Not that he wasn't planning it, but maybe he needed the cocaine to follow through with it.
Right.
I don't know.
He's a cracked up Santa.
Right. I don't know. Either way, I thought it was weird that this was in his system and nobody ever. So if anybody understands that, he had, let's see, it said a blood level of 0.07 UG/ml or was 0.99 UG/ml. So if anybody understands any of that, feel free to write us and let us know what that means.
Was he high?
Hi.
We don't know.
We don't know. So anyway, this is just a horrible, horrible crime, and the effects of this crime are long lasting for the family. One article actually mentioned that there was 13 children of this family in this family that lost at least one, if not both, of their parents in
Wow.
the shooting because all of the kids that were there, basically everybody except for the teenager, were the adults.
Yeah.
And all the kids were able to flee. They think they were able to flee because they were in the back of the house. And
I was
so they
just
were just
gonna ask. I don't know about how you do like parties at your house, but I feel like all of our kids are upstairs.
yeah.
And like the bonus upstairs and the parents are downstairs like in the kitchen area. So
Right.
that's interesting. I would think it would be the reverse, but huh.
Right. Right. And yeah, I guess it's clearly it depends on how the house is laid out. Yes. Both of us, the way our houses were laid out in North Carolina, that's exactly how it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Here, my kids would be in the basement and they'd be able to like
Mm.
get out this like sliding glass door that's right there. And
Mm-hmm.
so apparently where they were in the TV room or whatever where they were playing games was in the back of the house and they all just ran out the back door.
Thank
I
goodness.
know. Letitia, the one sister that did survive, ended up taking her sister's youngest child into custody and one of the children who was of age took custody of his 2 or 3 siblings. I can't remember after the event. So could you imagine, like, you're of age, but you're still young and you were still living with your parents, and now you're taking custody of your underage kids because your parents were shot by Santa.
Because of a cracked up Santa, Bruce.
Cracked up Santa who's pissed about his divorce settlement, essentially. But anyway, that's it. That's what I got.
Freaking Santa Bruce.
I mean, I saw a couple of interviews. Not many of the family actually speak out. Letitia I think that's how you say it. It could be Letitia. I don't know. She talks about it the most, or talks in public about it the most. And could you imagine, like, having to basically all these young kids, like, get them to be okay with Santa and during Christmas time?
Oh, no, you're going to celebrate Hanukkah after that.
Right. Yeah. Because, oh my gosh.
No.
How awful.
Like, no, they're going to walk by Santa at the mall and have panic attacks. Oh my gosh, especially the one that got shot in the face.
I know. Who ran up to Santa excited about him being at the front door. Like, and I don't know. I mean, clearly, I don't know if she knew who it was underneath.
Who would do that, though? What human being would be like, that would be his first shot, is an 8-year-old child?
No,
He better have been cracked up.
Exactly. I mean, at least be like, ho, 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 can I come in? I have
Where's
some
your
presents
mommy?
for you.
Yeah.
Like, and get in the door. Like, why do you have to whip it out and start shooting at the 8-year-old?
What a sicko.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yes. So, I mean, he would have been caught. I guess I can't say that for sure, but I'm glad that it ended the way it ended, because
no, he took the easy way out.
Well, that's true. He did. Yeah. Anyway. So, sorry to ruin Christmas for anybody.
There's your palate cleanser if anybody was feeling jolly.
Oh, I guess it was a palate cleanser.
Welcome to Crimes and Closets. Hey, nobody gonna be happy about Christmas around here.
Hopefully we'll see you in 2021.
Yes, season 2, 2021. No Santas allowed.
No.
I'm feeling weird about it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just don't give Santa guns or cocaine.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I don't.
And so every time you do say Santa, I always think about, do you listen to the Christmas, or have you watched the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Where it's Goldie Hawn and what's his name?
Oh gosh, I know who you're talking about.
You know, her like forever partner. What's his name? Oh shoot.
Oh, I can't remember what his name is either. But wasn't that something that came out last year or a couple of years ago?
Yeah. So there's a 2. There's a Christmas Chronicles 2. Kurt Russell. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, I was having such a hard time with that. Goldie Hawn and Kirk Russell. So every time you say Santa, I think about Kirk Russell. So I think about Kirk Russell cracked up on the porch, shooting somebody in the face, and it's messing me up.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
He raised the Hudsons. I mean, come on. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this very special Merry Christmas episode from Crimes and Closets, our last one for the year. Thank you guys for 2020. We have had such a ride, and we appreciate you guys joining us. We are going to take a break for a couple weeks from our crime because holy moly on that. And we're going to come into 2021 guns blazing, so please stay tuned. We probably will drop a little something in your feed in the next couple weeks, so don't forget about us, and be sure and connect with us on all the social media, because we're going to be wishing you guys a happy holidays all over the place. We've got some merch if you want to buy it. If you're done Christmas shopping and you want to get something for yourself, please check our website out. There's a little tab on our website that says Crimes and Closets merch, so give that a check out. I'm wearing my Crimes and Closets hoodie.
Aren't we running a sale too?
We're running a
when
sale
this drops
for the 12 days of Christmas. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So you can get 12% off.
There you go.
Now until Christmas. Is that right?
Yes, 12%.
Yes. With code Holly Jolly.
Oh, gosh. I don't remember. Jolly 15? No, Jolly 12?
Jolly 12. That's
Jolly
it.
12.
Jolly 12 with code Jolly 12. I feel like an infomercial from QVC, but that's fine. Mrs. Bella. But I'm wearing my Crimes and Closets hoodie right now, and it's awesome. It's so cozy. Yes, Christy has her phone case. I have a phone case too, but they're so great. So we would love for you guys to check our merch out and treat yourself with some Jolly 12 code merch from now till Christmas. Do that. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And we love you. Happy holidays from Crimes and Closets. And remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.